gotta tell somebody.
This is the best thing I've ever seen.
That. Let's talk about that.
You need this. Listen to this.
Memorable and exciting.
Well, then be less boring.
I'm going to tell everyone. Wait here.
Mighty remarkable, Big Daddy.
Remarkable.
Welcome to Remarkable, a podcast for B2B marketers that deconstructs the most iconic moments in film, television, pop culture, and advertising for a single purpose: to give you, the B2B marketer, the same storytelling techniques that the pros use. In each episode, you will learn techniques from Hollywood, Pixar, Marvel, and beyond, from Spielberg's hands to yours, bringing remarkable content ideas to you every single week. I'm Ian Faison, CEO of Caspian Studios. This is Remarkable. This week, we're talking B2B marketing lessons from 7-Eleven's Bring Your Own Slurpee Cup Day.
When you're hot and thirsty, how about something good and cold? How about Slurpee?
Reach for the cold one. Slurpee is the cold one.
Not just a drink in the ice, but a drink that is ice. That's Slurpee.
Reach for the cold one. Slurpee is the cold one.
With the help of our special guest, VP Marketing at Black Crow AI, JoAnn, how are you?
I'm doing well. Thanks, Ian. How are you?
Doing wonderful. Excited to chat with you today. We're going to talk about Black Crow AI, content, marketing leadership, and of course, why the heck did you want to talk about 7-Eleven's BYOC day today?
I have great memories of 7-Eleven as a kid, going to 7-Eleven with my mom, getting a Coke Slurpee and peanut M&Ms, and sitting in the car and talking with her about whatever was going on in my life. And so I just have a personal affinity with the idea of a Slurpee. From a marketing perspective, I'm so fascinated by 7-Eleven's ability to stand out in what is really just a highly commoditized and kind of boring market. They're a convenience store. You don't see you don't perceive a lot of innovation in convenience stores. It's kind of a utility when you're driving on a road trip and you have to stop and get gas. Most people don't skip a lot of exits to pick their favorite convenience store. You go for convenience in the word.
If it's not around the job, it's just around the corner at your 7-Eleven store.
And so I love the concept of 7-Eleven's Bring Your Own Cup Day because, one, it takes what they've created as really a hero product in a kind of boring market and created a community and celebration around their hero product. And I almost think of it as they have this great product that they know people love and they just throw a birthday party for it every year. And I think there's a lot that we as B2B marketers can take away from 7-Eleven's ability to be really product centric, to celebrate their product, and to create that community around their products every year.
Have you ever gotten a double big gulp and filled it up with Slurpee?
I have not. Have you?
Maybe. And she's asking. No.
Are you willing to admit it on the internet, Ian?
Gosh, no.
Question.
I would never do something like that. But I have a friend, dear friend, who used to do that.
Smean.
Boy, let me tell you, it's a lot of Slurpee. And it's great. I'm so excited to do this episode for many reasons, to have you on the show, but also to talk about something that's near and dear to my heart as well, which is 7-Eleven. And when we were talking about ideas to do for this episode, we truly could not even get off the topic of Slurpees and Bring Your Own Cup Day. And we're going to get all into that. But first, tell us about your role at Black Crow AI.
Yeah, I have the privilege of leading the marketing team at Black Crow AI. And so I get to work with our product marketing function, our demand gen growth function, creatives, and we're a startup. So I work with all of the teams in the company and we get to really define who Black Crow is and create a really engaging experience for our customers. It's one of the things I love about working with startup companies is the fact that you're there to build. And so every day I come to work metaphorically speaking. I literally sit in my house and log into my computer. I come to work and I get to build. And someone once said to me, you don't join a startup hoping it will work. You join a startup to make it work. And that is the thing that I love about my role and my team at Black Crow is we all get in every day and we build something that we know we can make work and we can make work for our customers.
Meredith, what the heck is 7-Eleven's bring your own cup day? I keep forgetting the day part.
I was waiting for the day part to drop.
That is Meredith O'Neill, our amazing producer extraordinaire.
So it's a special annual event that 7-Eleven holds, and it's the Bring Your Own Cup Day. And so the first one was April 11th of 2015. So it's been going a couple of years now.
That's almost 10 years, by the way.
Okay, yes, aka 10 years. Yeah, basically 10 years.
Doesn't feel like it.
This year's was on April 13th, so it's generally in April. But it officially marks the beginning of like Slurpee season. And I was like, do they just mean like warmer weather?
So we don't know what Slurpee season is. By the way, just in terms of timelines, I do refer to April 15th, 2015. Before that is BC before Cup Day. And then after Cup Day is it's after that. There's the demarcation.
I appreciate you bringing it up, but I feel like that could have gone without saying. I feel everyone operates that way. It seems so obvious.
It's a good point.
The whole idea is customers can bring in their like vessel of choice to fill with Slurpee for a flat price of $1.99. It used to be $1.50, so they've raised the price. And now it's held at not just 7-Eleven, but at Speedway and Stripe stores as well. The press release for this year says Slurpee drink fans are encouraged to bring their motorcycle helmets, fish bowls, or milk cartons to fill with Slurpee.
It's the biggest, boldest, coldest Slurpee to ever quench a thirst.
So people bring like all sorts of weird vessels, and there are some crazy ones out there. So I think the award for weirdest cup goes to the guy who took off his prosthetic leg and filled it with Slurpee. And that was in 2016. So there's a picture of him standing there filling it with, I couldn't figure out the flavor. It was pink. But
this person is a hero and deserves to be celebrated.
You walk in with two legs, take off your one leg, and then just fill it with Slurpee. But people have used all sorts of stuff like kiddie pools, which I think they've since like put a rule up against, like you can't bring in inflatable pools, sleds. There was a toilet, and then all sorts of like different cups and stuff like that. So people get crazy, and they usually offer like special edition flavors just for that day.
Chocolate, banana, pink bubblegum, gummy bear, blue sour raspberry. And it's interesting, although cola is our top selling flavor, blue is the most popular selling color of Slurpee, regardless of flavor.
And this year they were chili mango, which sounds delicious, and Fanta Dragon Fruit Zero. I don't know what that one would taste like. Anyway, of course you can get like the classics, like there's Coca-Cola, like JoAnn, at least your classic favorite. There's cherry, there's blue raspberry, and pina colada. But there are also certain rules, like, of course, they had to like put in more rules as time goes on because people know how to break them. But your vessel of choice has to be food safe, clean, watertight, and it has to fit, I think, under the spout is the thing. But they've also made like a cardboard cutout that your cup has to fit into. So it kind of restricts the size of whatever you're bringing in. And you can only bring in one cup per customer. But as for like the history of Slurpees, so I was like, what's the deal with them? They were invented by accident by this guy, Omar Nedlick, in 1959. And he had been a franchisee of Dairy Queen. And there was one day where his like soda fountain broke. And so he put bottles of soda in the freezer, but they don't freeze entirely because of the sugar content. So it like won't freeze solid, but it gets that like kind of fluffy, like slushy texture. And he found that like customers really liked it. And so he made his own like icy or Slurpee machine with an AC from a car.
It'll freeze your pipes.
And so he sort of like rigs it up, and he called his version Icy, ICEE. And then he ended up licensing the machine to 7-Eleven in 1965. And then the following year, the Slurpees debuted and they changed the name. It was this ad executive, Bob Stanford, who coined the name Slurpee after the sound that the beverage makes when you drink it. And it first really says cherry and Coke flavors. And then as far as marketing goes, it was 7-Eleven's director of proprietary beverage brands, Rusty Smith. He said it was always really important for us to ensure consistency. We know it's in the formula. We know what the machines are supposed to do.
The flavor concentrate starts in a bag. It's vetted through a CO2 line, then mixes with water in our Slurpee machine that then produces the perfect, consistent, chilled, icy drink. We chill our Slurpee to the perfect temperature of minus 2.2 degrees Celsius.
So in other words, like the Slurpee that you have in Texas should taste and feel the same when you drink it as the one you could have in Michigan, right? So nationwide it should be the same. And they were marketed originally as kids' drinks.
I was so hot. I was frying. My throat was like a desert, like Death Valley. I wish I had something polar, cold, like the North Pole. Whoa! A 7-Eleven Slurpee! What could be cooler? It's the ultimate cool.
So Rusty Smith said in the early years, 7-Eleven was known for penny candy and video games, and we wanted to have something proprietary that would get kids in our stores. So a couple of lessons I would sort of take from it is one, it's now social media, people are posting their crazy cup, whatever they bring in for the special day, and all sorts of weird ways to drink it. The other thing is consistency, the fact that the slushy anywhere in the nation should taste or feel the same to drink is huge. And then they also offer limited edition products or bonuses for people who participate. So I think that's another cool marketing lesson. But Ian, did you have something to say about marketing to kids? You laughed right when I said with all the sugar and everything. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It is, in fact, a kid's drink, I suppose. But that doesn't stop me.
I take away the fact that all good innovation comes on accident. And so we should all just give up because it just comes down to luck. If his freezer had never broken, where would we be today?
So true.
Pretty wild.
It is very Back to the Future, that image of Marty McFly pulls the handles off the skateboard and everyone's blown away by it.
I'll get it back to you, all right?
Wow, look at him go!
Oh, for sure. My kids are all over Slurpees, especially in the summer.
A winter storm in summer. A cold front in a cup at 7-Eleven. Below freezing predicted. Slurpee takes the simmer out of summer. Curious, bold, rare sensation.
It is the get off the bus. Mom, can we get Slurpees? And I'm literally on a phone call, maybe later. And then I want the Slurpee so bad that yes, of course we're getting Slurpees. There's so much joy in it.
So much joy.
I hear that the story and jokingly, it kind of was like a fluke where he stumbled upon a thing that a customer loved. Most products actually do originate that way. Oh yeah, I was talking and I realized there's this problem our customer has. And then I showed it to a couple more customers and they had that same problem. And then before you know it, 7-Eleven bought my idea and then they're rebranding it. And now people are filling bike helmets with Slurpees is the timeline of every great startup. But it does make me think they found an idea that they actually didn't develop. It seems like they found an idea that they thought would fit really well with the market they were going after. And they said, hey, people are coming in, kids are coming in for penny candy and video games. What is something else that we can give them that really brings them back over and over again? So they found sugar, shockingly sugar, caffeine, and fake coloring is addictive enough to bring kids back every day. But it is an interesting learning of a lot of companies struggle with how do we find something else that increases the value of our engagement with a customer? Or how do we build in an upsell strategy with say you're a B2B SaaS company. You've launched a core product for your customers and the customers love that core product. But as you grow as a company, you need to be able to develop more value for them. And you need to be able to develop more value to broaden your addressable market. And one of the learnings I take away is that they went and found that value And for us as B2B marketers, maybe we can be a little more creative about the way that we find that additional value we can bring to our customers all the time. Like if you're offering penny candy, you don't just have to create another flavor of penny candy. Maybe you go find accidentally frozen Coca-Cola in a machine.
I've spent quite a bit of time this summer. It was a hot summer here in the Bay Area.
Have you ever paired a Coke Slurpee with nacho cheese Doritos?
Oh, man. That sounds delicious.
Yeah. I've done that and more. I don't know what the more would be.
Just sounds really ominous and impressive.
Yeah, as if there is some third level.
It really is. It is an iconic product. I am always shocked and blown away by the fact that people buy 7-Eleven t-shirts.
Yeah.
And that is just like, who would have thought that you could build a gas station, effectively, a convenience store that is so ingrained in popular culture that people are going and shelling out dollars to wear its t-shirt? I mean, now in Texas, we have Buc-ee's. You have a similar cultural phenomenon around Buc-ee's in Texas. But it is pretty incredible that they were able to like ingrain themselves as a brand into people's lives. But I'm the same. I have memories as a kid growing up. I grew up in Florida, and you're coming home from the beach and you're covered in sand and it's hot, and you walk into an air-conditioned 7-Eleven and you're like mixing 6 different flavors of Slurpees. Is just, that experience is so, what is it about it? What is it about that experience that you have to go back for it? And it's kind of inspiring to me because I know we're talking about marketing on the podcast. It is not only like a 7-Eleven Slurpee fan club podcast, though I would have joined if that were what it was too. And yeah, I'm inspired by the fact that they've created an experience that we all remember and that we all love and feel so emotionally. And I do think sometimes business marketers can lose the plot on that a little bit, the connection to the experience that you're creating for your customers. And so I do always try to remind myself, like, my job isn't just go find new ad creative or a cool hook or interesting copywriting. My job is to create an experience. And when people engage with that experience, I don't know if I can't compete with a Slurpee. I haven't added sugar and caffeine to our product, but I hope that at some level, customers who do engage with Black Crow and have found so much logical benefit for their companies through our products also feel that experience of, oh, this company really cares about me. Or, oh, I remember working with Black Crow. They actually went above and beyond, and the product was so surprisingly great. I'm going to go back to that because I felt that experience. But it's so hard to recreate, right? As a B2B company, how do you create the type of experience that someone like 7-Eleven can create where you're marketing to people coming home from the beach with their families and they're in just a completely different context when they're buying or engaging with your product? And that's a question I think a lot of marketers kind of grapple with is, I'm a B2B marketer. I'm selling maybe software. It's rare that maybe I'm face to face with my customer. They're engaging with me through the internet. And how do I create that experience? And the interesting thing is you actually see some companies do that. You see companies take the idea of bring your own cup day, and you might equate that like a B2B software to company conferences. Events are blowing up right now. Smaller, more intimate in-person events are kind of striving to recreate that experience. How do I create a relationship with my customers? But it could be a really challenging thing to do when you're selling software for maybe tens of thousands of dollars versus a Slurpee for $1.99, and you're just asking people to bring in a kiddie pool, or maybe not a kiddie pool.
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
Well, this show isn't. We're not just about Slurpees here, JoAnn. We're also about cups, and I think that, I mean, you just imagine you are the head of a brand, an iconic brand, one of the greatest inventions, I was saying American history, but we can just say world history, of Slurpees, right? Of switching back and forth between the Coke and the cherry to make cherry Coke. As a side note, there is no greater despair on this earth than when you walk in and the Coke one is not frosty. And you see that clear liquid, well, very murky, dark liquid, and it's not frozen. Oh,
it's the worst.
If you fall to your knees and scream, why?
That is such a relatable melancholy, like a unique brand of despair. And I don't know about you, but when that happens, do you cycle through very unusual stages of grief in that moment?
Yeah.
Like I'm sitting there like, oh no, how dare they? I'm angry.
Yep. It's all 7. It's the 7 stages of grief.
But I add on an additional like first world problems guilt stage of what am I doing standing here angry about a Slurpee not being frozen? But then again, I'm angry and sad and disappointed, and you have trust issues. So you have to call that 7-Eleven first because you've already been burned and you're not going to drive across town just to be disappointed again. That would be, the next great invention. And I would like to make everyone aware that we invented it here first, is a sensor on all of the Slurpees and 7-Eleven adding the availability to their app. So you can check on your local 7-Eleven app to see if any flavor is frozen or not.
If that's not a feature being built right now, it will be after they listen
What
to
are they
this.
even working on? Forget about the rewards. No one wants reward points. We want sensors on the Slurpee machines.
We thought we were going to have flying cars, but instead we didn't get sensors on our Slurpee machines by 2024 or whatever year it is. So anyways, imagine you've been steward of a brand, iconic brand, and you're sitting there and you go, what can we do? It's the Slurpee. Everybody loves it. Who doesn't love it? It sells itself. Let's let the people decide and say you can put a Slurpee in anything. And I guarantee you that there's footage of my friend filling up those double gulps with Slurpee.
What would that look like if you're a tech startup? You're watching a gong call, right?
Yeah, right.
And what is the equivalent that you can pull from that?
Well, so
what's the craziest thing someone can do when interacting with your product and then just ask them to film that thing and put it on the internet? Meredith, we need some fact checking. When do those two things exist in parallel?
I'll figure it out.
Okay.
I'll find the dates. I, though, did have penny candy in the 90s. I remember getting some in the 90s. So I know.
From a 7-Eleven?
It was around. No, not a 7-Eleven. So I got to do some research.
Well, but even still, the fact that it did exist in the 90s, maybe there were penny candies out there.
Did you ever play a video game in a 7-Eleven?
No. Did you guys?
Yes.
Because they should bring that back. And if you win, you should get a Slurpee.
You should get a Slurpee and a lottery ticket.
I don't think children can buy lotto tickets.
But I think we established that these are for adults now.
That's a good point.
It is fun. Maybe someone did anticipate that. And I think we need more people like that making marketing decisions. The ones who are willing. And actually, you do see that in companies that have really strong social teams and social strategies. They lean into those really funny kind of off the wheels moments of hey, what's the thing everyone is frustrated about? Or what's the thing that everyone just rage clicks, or the shared experience of our customers? And I do think great companies lean into the kind of messy pieces, but you have to be willing to. You have to be willing to lean into the kind of absurd, a little bit messy parts of the business. I don't think anyone in the boardroom at 7-Eleven was sitting there thinking, yes, but we have to put some rules in place because here are all the ways that could go wrong. They were kind of thinking this is going to be a lot of fun and we're going to see how fun this gets. I think we probably have some rules that were added later. And I always like to envision what happened that led to that rule being added.
The phrase you're looking for it is every sign has a story, right?
Yeah.
It's
why is there fine print that says don't back your pickup truck into the store It's because someone tried to back their pickup truck up into the store. Yeah. But you have to be willing to have fun with it. Right up there with the Titanic, the Mayflower.
Nina Pinta Santa Maria.
And Bodie McBoatface. It's the Mount Rushmore of boats, for sure.
It's top 10.
Yeah.
Hashtag name our product and just let the people decide.
I think history has shown that when you leave things to the internet, great things can happen. But also it can go wheels off very fast. But that's part of the beauty of it, right? Is the wheels offness is why it's novel and fun and you feel part of something. So you never know where it's going to go.
I think for something that you want to have a memory and make a memory and like not to be overly sort of nostalgic or nerdy about it, but it's like, I can't wait till I take my son to get a Slurpee in like a construction helmet or whatever. You know what I mean? Like that's just like actually sounds like a fun, exciting thing. And shout out 7-Eleven for making that happen. You know what I mean? Like it's just fun and silly. And like, honestly, most marketing just needs more fun and silly.
I could not agree more.
Okay. Any other marketing takeaways for the Bring Your Own Cup Day?
Not from Bring Your Own Cup Day specifically. As I was researching more about the history of 7-Eleven, I was actually pretty surprised at how dedicated they are to product innovation. One of the really interesting things I learned is they were the first store to offer to-go cups for coffee.
Whoa.
And so stack that on top of Slurpees as truly iconic, world-changing products. But I mean, you look back and it's marketing, but it's finding the product and the fit with the market and figuring out how you put that in front of the right customer, which is really foundationally strategic marketing. And yeah, I constantly go back to the Bring Your Own Cup Day activates your community around a great product. And you just lean in on that product innovation over and over and over again. And that gives you great opportunities to have those celebrations or to create those experiences. If I take that tactically back, I think I hear from marketers a lot about, hey, how do I better partner with my product teammates? What's this product marketing relationship? How do we get away from product builds a thing and throws it all over the wall and marketing figures out how to talk about it? And it's a challenge I hear a lot, and I hear a lot coming up more and more. And I think this is a great example that those two disciplines are actually very tightly intertwined. And as marketers and product leaders in startups, we have to figure out how we're coming together to figure out what is that thing that celebrates our core product. What is the core product we put in front of a customer that it has great fit for that customer, and how do we figure out how to talk about it with them? So whether it's the to-go cups, which I couldn't imagine, honestly, my life without a to-go coffee cup,
Right.
Whether it's the to-go cups or Slurpees and Bring Your Own Cup Day, I think the concept of like really tightly intertwining your product and how your customers experience that product and how you talk about it is really inspiring.
All right. Before we get out of here, any cool stuff that you want to talk about?
We have two things coming up that I'm very excited about. The first thing coming up that I'm very excited about is Black Friday. And I'm excited because it's really the big time of year for our customers. And so we get to partner with them ramping up for that time of year to make sure that they get the most possible out of working with us going into that season that for a lot of them are very make or break for their year in their business. And so it is a thing that happens every year. It's not particularly novel in e-commerce, but every year I get excited to see how our customers are going to perform. The thing, they are working on new campaigns that I have the privilege of seeing sometimes. And so I get excited about coming into this time of year because it's really inspiring for me to see what they're working on. The second thing that we are working on, I can't say too much about, but we are launching a new product in Q1. And it is, I don't want to brag, but up there with taquitos and Slurpees. So I will leave you with the...
Nice.
I'm really excited about that because it Our team innovates very quickly. We have a lot of features within our platform that our customers can use, but this one's particularly exciting. And so I hope I get to talk more about it in January after we get through this really busy season for our customers.
Can I spill the beans? It's product emic, product face. That's no big deal. That beat out Crowy McBirdface. And it was a close one, but that's the winner. Okay. Final thoughts here. Any best piece of advice for a head of marketing who's trying to think about their brand and content strategy?
Talk to Caspian Studios. I hear those guys are great. I mean, that is serious. I also would say we're in a really kind of habit-changing time in B2B marketing. I'm sure a lot of people in startups, their businesses are pivoting or recreating themselves, and they're figuring out how they operate differently in this landscape. And so my advice would be just be very open to learning from other industries, other leaders, other marketers. It's very easy to get stuck in doing things the way you've always done them. And I find myself sometimes going through the motions of, here's our growth plan. Here are all of the campaigns we're running against that. Here's what we can spend to generate an opportunity, to generate a customer, to retain that customer. And to really just step back and take a broader view of reminding ourselves that, yes, that is our part of our job as marketers, is to be responsible for the funds that we manage in a company, which is a big part of a company's expenses oftentimes. But also to step back and remember, my job is to create a great experience for my customers. And so some of the creative ideas we shared, or like Ian, you talking about creating a better together experience, or stepping back and thinking creatively about, hey, it doesn't cost anything to throw a birthday party for your product. Like, that would be my piece of advice. And it's advice to myself as well as I go into planning for 2025 with my team. Just remember that we serve people with our software or our product, whatever that product is. And our job is to serve them well with great experiences.
JoAnn, wonderful having you on the show. For our listeners, go to blackcrow.ai, the customer intelligence tool for Shopify. Go check them out, blackcrow.ai. Awesome. JoAnn, great having you on the show. Final thoughts? Anything to plug?
Thank you for having me. No, this was a lot of fun. I could talk about Slurpees all day, and I'm really glad we got some marketing facts in there. We didn't go 2 wheels off on all of the ways you could fill a container with Slurpee, but I do think we should have an episode 1B that just follows our adventure going to different 7-Elevens and trying to fill up different containers of Slurpees and just see how that works for us. We should create a documentary is what I'm proposing to you.
Yeah. And the fiction series starts with, you press the button and all of a sudden it's a never-ending one. The person looks down, their head gets sucked into another dimension. And then all taquitos all the time. JoAnn, thanks again for joining the show. Meredith, you didn't mention that they trademarked brain freeze, but that's really epic.
Wait, careful not to drink it too fast. Could get a brain freeze.
And I didn't know that. Pretty great.
Well, now you can't say it on the podcast. They're going to charge you a bunch of money for that. Brain sneeze.
I didn't say, I said rain.
I need to come up with a way to use brain sneeze because I honestly think that's just as good.
It's not brain freeze. It's sparkling headache. That comes from the sparkling region of France. Thanks, JoAnn.
Thank you.
I think I said that backwards. Well, that's it for today. I hope you got some good ideas for your B2B content. Thank you for listening to Remarkable. I'm Ian Faison, CEO of Caspian Studios. Remarkable is created by the team at Caspian Studios, B2B podcast as a service. Caspian also creates fiction series for B2B companies, so if you want a business thriller, you can learn more at caspianstudios.com. Hollywood-style storytelling for B2B. And in today's episode, you heard from myself, Ian Faison, and Meredith O'Neill, senior producer here at Caspian Studios. Remarkable was produced this week by Meredith O'Neill, mixed by Scott Goodrich, and our theme song is Solomon by Falak. Be remarkable and rise above the noise.